Okay, student, we're talking about the appendicular, upper appendicular bone, which is and consists of clavicle bone, that's clavicle bone, scapula bone, humerus bone, or your arm bone, two forearm bone, which is ulna and radius, okay? And then we're talking about the hand bone, okay? These are upper appendicular bone. And each bone has their own marking, okay? First, let's talk about clavicle. Clavicle bone is collarbone. Clavicle bone has two sides, anterior border and posterior border, okay? Anterior border and posterior border. And has two ends, external end, which is thicker, and acromion end, which is flatter, okay? And in the posterior border, there is the cone shape, is called conoid tuberosity. Conoid tuberosity is like a cone shape, yeah, and you see like triangle shape, yeah, pointy. And underneath is like tuberosity. This is called costal tuberosity. Conoid tubercle, costal tuberosity. That's because of when you move your ribs that hit the collarbone. Yeah, this is my collarbone. Yeah, when you move the rib, it push that and make that costal tuberosity mark. We're done with clavicle. Let's talk about scapulae. Scapula is like a triangle bone. And you see, when we say triangle, has three borders, yeah? Anterior, superior, medial, lateral border. Superior border, medial border, lateral border. When we say triangle, it has, when we say triangle bone, it has three angles, yeah? Medial angle, superior angle, lateral angle, superior angle, and inferior angle. Lateral angle, okay? And all the way down, if you look on the down your list, the superior angle, inferior angle, lateral, okay? Let's start from beginning before we say. This is the body of the scapula, okay? The body, because I have two scapula, the body that I'm holding. That's the body of scapula, okay? This is the superior border, medial border, lateral border, okay? The spine. Before we're talking about the spine, the scapula has two sides, dorsal and ventral. Anterior side, posterior side, or dorsal. In the dorsal side, there is a pointy bone, it's called a spine. Harsh. Spine. A spine is separated, the posterior side to two sides, upper and lower, supraspinatus, infraspinatus. And they are fossa. Fossa means narrowing, yeah? And now you see, that's the fossa located on the top of the spine, and that fossa located on the bottom of the spine. And you see the red color? This is the muscle insert here. The muscle, supraspinatus muscle, infraspinatus muscle, and so when we're talking about an appendicular muscle, then we're talking about this muscle again. Okay. This is the back of the scapula, the back side. Front of the scapula is another fossa. Yeah, it's called subscapularis fossa. And which muscle insert? Subscapularis muscle. Okay, this is subscapular. This is back, which is the spine. This is front, which is subscapularis fossa. Okay, now let's talk about two process. Yeah, this is the two process, which is one, which is two. One is located anteriorly, one is located posteriorly. The posteriorly process is called acromion process, which is the clavicle is articulate. The acromion, remember the acromion end of clavicle? Articulate with that process. That's called acromion end for clavicle, but acromion process for the scapula. And another process is called the back, in the front is called coracoid process. You see that the red color on the coracoid? This is the muscle is called coracobrachialis. The muscle origin from that coracoid process. Okay? Okay. We said that triangle shape. Triangle bone has triangle. Yeah? The superior angle, inferior angle, and lateral angle. Okay? On the superior border, there is the notch between coracoid and superior border. This notch is called the notch is called here. You can see it. You see it? Yeah, that's the coracoid process. This notch is called subscapularis notch. Means the notch located on the top of scapula. Okay? Okay. The bone marking, appendicular bone marking, I will post on your blackboard also. Okay? I think we done. We forgot one thing about that fossa. There is 3 fossa in the scapula. Yeah? 1, 2, 3, 4 fossa. The fossa that I'm talking is glenoid fossa. That's glenoid, which is the head of humerus is articulate like that. Okay? The head of this humerus. That's called glenoid fossa. Okay? Glenoid fossa is not deeper like acetabulum and femur. That's flat. And when they make this two bone articulation, there is the rim holding. And there is no deep fossa, and that's why the most of dislocation of shoulder happen. Shoulder dislocation happen a lot in the people who's involved with sport. Okay, that's the glenoid fossa. Okay, glenoid fossa. Okay, subscapularis fossa, infrascapularis, glenoid fossa, and supraspinatus fossa, infraspinatus, glenoid fossa, and subscapularis fossa in the front. Yeah. Okay, again, supraspinatus fossa, infraspinatus fossa, glenoid fossa, and subscapularis. Okay, we done with this two bone. Okay, let's talk about humerus. Humerus is your bone. Humerus. Humerus has this bone. It looks like that. Okay. Humerus is long bone. Yeah, it's like tubular bone. Why we call tubular? The the marrow is located inside the tubule. Yeah, bone marrow. Okay, and this is one of the bone that making blood. The blood formation, small blood formation is happening in the head of humerus and head of femur. That's head of humerus. Let's talk about the marking of this bone. The first is head, the head of humerus. This is the head, caput, cup, head, yeah, cup. That's what they call cup. That's the caput or head of the humerus. There are two kinds of neck. One is anatomical neck around the head, and one is surgical neck. Anatomical neck and surgical neck around. And another bone mark is called greater tuberosity, tubercle, greater tuberosity and lesser tuberosity. Okay. Greater tuberosity, and I'm pointing that, and lesser tuberosity, small. See? You saw that? The greater and lesser. And between them is the groove. It's called intertubercular groove. When you come down to intertubercular, you see tuberosity. This tuberosity is called deltoid tuberosity, which is the deltoid muscle origin. Okay? Deltoid muscle. Insert. The insertion of deltoid muscle is here. It's called deltoid tuberosity. That's why the muscle of deltoid is big muscle. Is make that mark. Okay? And this is the upper end of the scapula, of the humerus. Remember one thing, for the long bone has upper end or upper uh, or proximal end. Yeah, it's close to that shoulder bone. That's proximal, and this is distal end. We finish with proximal, and proximal end again. I'm uh, I'm repeating the caput, the head, anatomical neck, surgical neck, greater tuberosity, lesser tuberosity, intertubercular groove, and then you see deltoid tuberosity. And the distal end, why we go over on distal end. In distal end, you see medial epicondyle, this is, and lateral epicondyle. Okay, medial epicondyle and lateral epicondyle. Okay, and the small head, you see it. This is a small head. That small head is called capitulum. Remember, how you know this is capitulum? How you know this is trochlea? The capitulum, remember the capitulum located in the lateral side of the humerus bone. That's the lateral, that's medial, yeah, because the medial is see the medial? Yeah, that's the medial. And the medial epicondyle located in the medial. See? Yeah? And the lateral epicondyle located in the lateral. That's it called. And now you see it's like that. Yeah? Okay? There you see the medial epicondyle down, and that's the lateral epicondyle. And now you see the capitulum in the lateral side? Yeah? That's the capitulum. And the left side is called trochlea. Trochlea. Why they call trochlea? Because trochlea, the trochlear notch that's on ulna, it goes inside that. Okay, like that. it make that. That's why it's called trochlea. Okay, that's trochlea. That's trochlea notch and ulna bone. We're talking later. Okay, I don't wanna you mix up with these bones. Capitulum is always located in the lateral side of humerus. Distal end. Okay, and trochlea always in the media, close to the middle line. That's trochlea. Okay, on the top each other there is fossa. Okay, the medial fossa, this one is called, the fossa is called coronoid fossa. This is called coronoid, and I show you why it's called coronoid. Because when we articulate the humerus with ulna, that's the ulna. The ulna has two processes: acromion process, olecranon process, and coronoid process. Okay, that's why that's called coronoid fossa. When I move that, see the coronoid process hit that fossa. That's why this fossa is called coronoid fossa. See? Yeah, that's why this fossa made, this coronoid process of ulna made that marking, coronoid fossa. And the other marking, the small one, is this is the radial fossa. See radial fossa on your list? Radial fossa. And another big fossa in the back of humerus is olecranon. That's the olecranon from the back. Let's make that fossa. Yeah, because when you bend, flexion, extension, yeah, it hit and make that deep fossa. That's called olecranon fossa. Okay, again, I repeat the end, the distal end. You see medial epicondyle. Why you call medial? How you recognize it? That's medial epicondyle. I asked you last time. Next time, because the head of humerus located in the middle line. That's called medial epicondyle. And lateral epicondyle in the lateral. Yeah, that's the medial epicondyle, lateral, and the capitulum in the middle, in the lateral, close to the lateral line, and trochlea, close to the middle line, and the top is fossa. This fossa is called coronoid fossa, radial fossa, and the back of humerus is called olecranon fossa. Okay, we done with humerus. Let's talk about the ulna. Ulna has three, of course, this is long bone also. Yeah, long bone always has the shaft, proximal end, distal end. The humerus also, this is the shaft of humerus. Yeah, the shaft of humerus. Body, the shaft, proximal and distal end. And proximal end, one thing you remember, three number or three words, O, T, C, or alphabet, three alphabet, O, T, C, olecranon, trochlear notch, and coronoid process. Remember? O, T, C. Okay? Olecranon, trochlear notch, and coronoid process. Okay? And beside coronoid process, you see notch. This notch is called ulnar notch because ulnar bone is like that. Ulnar bone is make that notch. Ulnar head, yeah, that's the radial head. Sorry, that's the radial. That called radial notch. Radial notch is located in the ulnar bone, but ulnar notch located in radial bone. Okay, That's ulnar notch. Okay, ulnar notch. And then under the ulnar notch, you see tuberosity. These are ulnar tuberosity. I'm pointing. It's a harsh portion. I'm touching. Ulnar tuberosity. And the end distal or distal end, you see the styloid process, pointy part, styloid process. That's it. Proximal end, you see OTC, yeah, olecranal notch and chronoid process. And then you see ulnar notch, radial notch, yeah, when I'm pointing that, radial notch, and then tuberosity, ulnar tuberosity. And then in the distal end, you see the uh, styloid process. That's it. We finish with ulnar. Let's talk about radial. Radial bone has head. Yeah, this is the head and the neck. And then you see radial tuberosity. These are radial tuberosity, which is the muscle is insert. Okay? And a lot of muscle insert in origin in the ulnar bone, the forearm muscle, which is helping with flexion, extension, rotation, yeah, supination, pronation. In the distal end, you see only the styloid process. But where you find the notch is tricky, yeah? The radial notch was an ulnar, yeah? But the ulnar notch and radius, you find them here, okay? This is the notch, okay? This is the notch, okay? That's called ulnar notch, okay? That's it. I think the ulnar is finished. The proximal end, you see head of ulnar, head of radius, neck of radius, and tuberosity, radial tuberosity. And uh, distal end, only styloid process. Okay, we done with ulnar and radius. Let's talk about the hand muscle. The hand muscle is a little bit tricky, students. Okay, uh, the hand muscle made of three parts: carpal or wrist muscle, metacarpal or your hand, yeah, or palm, and phalanges or carpal, metacarpal, phalanges or phalanges, your fingers, yeah, that has three bones. We talking about that. Okay, let's talk about carpal bone. Carpal bone divided into proximal and distal line or raw. Proximal raw, distal raw. Proximal raw. Why is it proximal? Because it's close to your forearm. Yeah, proximal. And distal is far away from distal line, the proximal uh, line or proximal end. That's called distal raw, proximal raw. Let's talk about the first raw. The first raw, if you see in the bottom sheet, it's laterally to medially. From laterally, what does that mean? From your pinky to your uh, uh, big finger. Okay, from laterally to medially, the first row. From laterally to medially. In anatomical, before we go over the handbook, the anatomical position is like that. Yeah, it should be like that. And this is the finger is gonna be laterally, and medially is gonna be your pinky. Yeah, this is anatomical finger, anatomical position. Yeah, see now, you see that your uh, big finger is located to the lateral side. Okay, and your pinky close to the middle. Now, if you go to the where it says laterally to medial proximal raw, laterally means from your big finger to the medially, which is with your pinky. That's proximal raw. And now we count, we look on the bones. The first bones is the scaphoid. This is the scaphoid muscle, the scaphoid bone. For each row, there is 4 bones. The scaphoid, lunate. Lunate is, looks like moon. Okay, see, this is looks like moon. Yeah, this is. If you look in your book, it looks like moon. See, looks like moon. Yeah, this is this muscle. This bone, a small tiny bone. And the third one is called triquetrum. Why triquetrum? Has three corners. 1, 2, and 3. That's called triquetrum. 1, 2, and 3. And the smallest bone, round bone, is passiform. Passiform is the smallest bone in the body. Okay? When you hold your pinky finger on the carpal side, you feel it there. Okay? The passiform. Okay, let's talk about the second row. The second row is from laterally to the proximal, from laterally from your big finger to the medially is it's called trapezium. This is 2 bones look close to each other. It looks like each other. See this 2 bones? If you look in your book, lab book, you see it. They all look like each other, like brother, big brother, small brother. Okay? That's why it's called trapezium, and the small one trapezoid. The third one is called capitate. It has a small head. See? Capitate, small head. And the last one has hammer. It's like a hammer in the back. See? This, you're holding that hammer. It's hammer. Okay? That's the second row. Again, the first row from lateral to middle line. The first row is scaphoid, lunate, triquetrum, passiform. The second row from lateral to medial, or from big finger to pinky, trapezium, trapezoid, capitate, like head, small head, you see, I feel it, and hammer, like hammer, okay, in the back, hammer. Okay, we finish with carpal bone. The metacarpal bone, they are short bone, okay? They are short bone, but has proximal end, distal end, body, a small body, okay? And then you can count it. First metacarpal, second metacarpal, third metacarpal, fourth metacarpal, and fifth metacarpal. Okay? We done with metacarpal. Okay? And metacarpal, we said that they are palm of your hand. Yeah, this is your palm. They are palm, the palms of your hand. Your palms of and has its number from 1 through 5. We said that metacarpal 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, let's talk about phalanges. Phalanges also made of three small short bones. Okay, phalanges. The fourth finger, like this finger, that finger, and pinky, has made of 3 small bones. But your Big thumb bone is what? Has two phalanges, okay? Or two small bones, okay? And we said that that has the thumb has two phalanges, the other forefinger has three phalanges, which is proximal, medial, distal. The thumb has only proximal and distal phalanges, and the other foot has three phalanges, proximal, medial, and distal. Okay, your nail is grow or located on your distal toe, distal phalanges. Yeah, not here, here, distal phalange. Okay, we then with the hand muscle. Again, before we end up, let's name the fingers. The big uh, thumb is called hallux. Pollex, not hallux. Hallux and your big toe. Pollex finger. Pollex, this is politic. Yeah, the politic of. Okay, good. We did it. We did it. Yeah, right now we did it. That's the pollex finger. And that's index. Your second finger is called index always. Oh, I tell you that. Do this. Yeah, and you showing the direction with your index. That's what indication, index. The third finger is called middle. Yeah, it's located in the middle. Yeah, to here. See, that's middle finger. And the fourth one is called what? Auricular. The fourth one is called ring. Ring finger. Because you put your ring. Yeah, see my ring always here? Ring finger. And that's called ring finger. And the fifth one is called auricular, pinky or pinky finger. Why they call auricular? You always put your hand and take your ear. Yeah, auricular. Okay, that's it. The finger, the hand muscle made of carpal, metacarpal, which is make the your palm bones and palm of your hand bones and or palms bones and phalanges. Okay, okay. We finish with all this. I hope you review, okay, and review from your lab manual. And we done today. And have a good weekend. See you next week. See you tomorrow, which is we meet 3 days a week, yeah. And then the next one, next time when you come back, we go over on upper appendicular muscle, which is muscle of your arm, forearm, and hand muscle. Okay. Okay, guys. I hope you like this video and have a good night. Be safe and healthy. Bye.